Hi there. My name is Heather Dahlstrom, and I am really excited to be here with you today because I've just had these thoughts kind of going through my mind on a really consistent basis about just growth. Okay, this has definitely been a theme of my life. It's something that has been shaped since childhood. It has to do with both my own in talents, my own inner talents and strengths, but also through the different experiences that I've had in my life. And it's something that I actually feel is really, really important. And it's this art of embracing discomfort, the art of embracing that which is uncomfortable. And the reason why I feel like that's so very important is that it is actually a tragedy of humankind for us to not push through, to move forward, to advance, not just within our own professional lives, but within ourselves internally, within our marriages, within our families, within our careers, in all different areas. I think this is just so incredibly important that we have, that we continue to move forward and challenge ourselves. And there's a couple reasons why this came up, and a couple reasons why I think that this is just so important. I was talking with a friend this weekend who has just started nursing school, and she is in her late 30s. Her and her husband have 5 or 6 children. They've actually had 3 of their own and adopted and foster care. They're really an incredible family. And she is just starting nursing school for the first time. And she told me, she's like, I'm so nervous and I just don't know what's going to happen. And I said, I am so proud of you. Like, you are diving into something that's brand new in a place in life where you could kind of feel like you've arrived. Your kids are just, they're little, but they're starting to grow, and your husband's been in his career, and you've been doing the mom thing, which is, I've the utmost respect for that. I'm a stay-at-home mom as well, an entrepreneur. And so, but like, that's what you're accustomed to. That's what you are used to doing. And I just began to think about how she could just stay in that place and live out the rest of her life. But she wasn't content to do that. There was something in her that was driving her to develop herself, to grow, to find new things that she's passionate about. And I think that that is actually the beauty part. One of the really beautiful things about mankind, about humanity, is that we are creative beings who are expressive. We are those who I think, to find ourselves in a place where we get stuck or where we can't move out of, that becomes a tragedy, because we are intended for so, so much more. And so I think there's a few reasons why we end up getting stuck. One is fear. It is scary to launch into the unknown. It's a frightening thing to say, I don't actually see the steps ahead of me, and yet I am going to determine those steps that I take. That's terrifying, but it's also really, really thrilling, isn't it? I think another reason we don't take these steps is just lack of confidence. We don't believe that we can do it, or we think we don't have much to contribute or to offer. Or maybe we were told when we were young, you can't do anything. You're not good at that. You talk too much. You're too loud. You're too this. You're too that. You're not this. You're not this. And so we have these patterns and ways that we think that identify and define who we are. And maybe we just think we're not good enough. We're not self-aware. Maybe you are someone who is really, can come off really arrogant, or can come off really rude, and maybe you don't even know that, or are willing to do that, or maybe you aren't able to articulate things well. And so those are things that can actually be improved upon, right? But we have to be aware. We have to be able to hold up the mirror and say, you know what, I'm great in this, and I want to improve it this way, and I'm not great in this. And I don't have to emphasize that, but it's just good for me to know to kind of avoid it, right? Maybe we're not willing. That's another reason we don't grow, is we just say, you know what, it's too hard. None of my family did this. I'm not educated. I'm not good enough, smart enough, or gosh darn it, people don't like me, so we might not even be willing to go there, to humble ourselves, to say, I might need to make some changes to get where I want to go. Sometimes we just don't know what to do. And that's another thing. So then becoming those who learn what our resources are, find out how can I break out of this place that I'm in, what tools are available to me to not only motivate and inspire me, but also to help me to skill to get where I want to go. So some of the benefits to just being people who embrace this art of discomfort and are willing to continue to persevere and push forward is because we can do more and create more than we ever thought possible. And isn't that a beautiful thing? Whether you are single, whether you're married, divorced, widowed, whether you're young or old, we are intended for creativity. We are intended for pushing the boundaries. And that is such an incredible thing to do and really so much fun. And I think once we wrap our heads around not being those who settle, but those who are continuing to push forward, we start to understand the thrill that comes with that. And it's healthy. It's actually healthy. There's adrenaline junkies out there, and they do amazing things that honestly terrify me just watching them on a video. But they have pushed themselves to new limits. And so we can have that same sort of reaction where we get those endorphins going through our body and we feel proud. And just by being those who are creating legacies or creating the ideal lifestyle that you want or what you want for your family or for yourself. Also, here's another thing. Now, I'm a mom. You might not be a mom, but as a mom, it's very important to me that my children see me pursuing my dreams. And I feel like it's important that they see that because I want them to know that they can pursue their dreams, that the things that would hold them back are not the things that have to hold them back, because I want them to exceed where I go. I want them to go beyond. And in order for them to do that, they need an example. And so the same for you. If you do have kids or you have cousins or little brothers and sisters or even other family members, they can see you pushing out of things and coming into new places. And isn't that just an incredible thing that we can do? All right. Also, when you reach your potential, you live a full and happy life. And I think that so many of us feel like we're grumpy and we're disgruntled and we have so many things that, bother us. And we certainly can complain about those things and they are valid to us. Yes. But if we're in a place where we are constantly pushing our own envelopes, constantly propelling ourselves, instead of complaining about how much money someone else makes, why not make that our goal if that's really important to you? Or instead of complaining about this manager that's not doing a great job, why not become the manager that does a great job? Instead of, being mad at people that drive crazy on the road, how about being a responsible driver? So let's be part of the solution instead of just complaining about the problem. All right. So here's just a challenge for you. Something I'm going to leave with you that I'm doing myself today is just what's one area that you want to change that scares you? And I would encourage you to think about that. To write it down. You want to start with one thing just so it's manageable. Write it down and then think, how can I go from here to there? What are the steps? So work backwards from the end goal. Visualize it, think about it, write it down, and then talk to your significant other, talk to whoever you'd be accountable, a parent, or just a really good friend and say, this is what I want to do. Would you just link arms with me as I'm doing this? And then enjoy the journey of growth and change that takes place. And then I would love to hear what you're going to do. So I'm actually going to take some time now and write down kind of my goals for 2019, write down where I want to go. And I'm excited to see that happen more and more. All right. Be well. Have a great day. Thanks for listening.